Imagine this. You're out hiking, the sun is shining, the birds are screaming, and you're feeling like Bear Grylls. Just don't drink your pee. The woods are a peaceful, almost magical place, but fast forward just a few hours and the sun sets, and suddenly those same trees feel like they're auditioning for a Blair Witch reboot. Every twig snap behind you sounds like Bigfoot is tiptoeing in for a jump scare. The woods go from, hey, let's go explore nature, to I should have updated my will real fast. But why is that? I was scrolling through YouTube recently and I saw this one video that was titled Top 10 Best Horror Books of 2020 whatever. And of course, the image of the thumbnail was a picture of the woods at night. And I realized, I've made some scary things before too that also just use like generic dark woods imagery as well. But why? Why is something as simple as the woods at night become this collective hive mind image of horror recently? Why does our brain flip that switch from this is beautiful to I am now the main character in a found footage film? Well, I want to dive deep into the science and the psychology and even the pop culture behind why the woods at night scare the life out of me and you. So, buckle up, or, grab a flashlight and a blanket because this might get a little spooky. First, let's get one thing very straight here. Being scared of the dark is not just for kids. It's one of the most primal fears that all humans have. It's right up there with snakes and heights and accidentally hitting reply all. The reason is pretty simple, actually. Darkness means vulnerability. For our ancient ancestors, nighttime was when the predators came out to play, and spoiler, humans aren't exactly built for after-hours survival. We have no night vision, we have terrible hearing compared to predators, and if you've ever stubbed your toe at night, then you know that we have all the grace of a folding lawn chair. Our brains evolved to treat darkness as a potential threat. When we can't see what's around us, our imagination simply fills in the blanks, and it never fills them with anything nice. Alright, but why are the woods such a prime fear zone after dark? I mean, it's just trees, right? Well, sure, until it isn't. The woods at night tap into multiple psychological fears all at once. Let's break this down together. The first one is the fear of the unknown. When you look into a dark forest, you can't see past just a few feet. Every shadow could be a harmless deer or the Jersey Devil getting ready for his evening jog. Our brains simply hate uncertainty, and the woods are basically a black hole of unknown possibilities. The second reason is isolation. During the day, the woods feel lively. There's birds, there's squirrels, maybe even some friendly hikers. It's literally the most obvious part of go touch grass. We go out into nature for hours or days or weeks at a time to feel reconnected with our own inner spirits and with Mother Nature if you want to get a little bit hooey with it. But at night, it's just you and whatever else is out there. Humans are social creatures, and the woods at night make you feel very alone. The third reason here is the lack of control. In your house, you can flip a light switch and restore sanity. But in the woods, no such luck, dude. There's no off switch for nature. You just have to accept that you might hear things that you didn't really want to. If you put all these together, suddenly the woods feel less like a scenic trail and more like an opening scene of The Ritual. Also, the media hasn't helped. Let's talk about pop culture. Now, they love to cash in on this fear. I mean, why wouldn't horror directors milk the dark woods trope for all it's worth? Take a look at the Blair Witch Project. It did reinvent the found footage genre by making us terrified of some twigs and some distant cackling. Take a look at The Witch, or The Vivitch, as my very funny friend group likes to call it. Black Phillip and unsettling tree lines, right? Enough said. And another movie called The Forest plays off of the real-life eeriness of Japan's, I'm gonna mess this up, Aokigahara Forest. You know the one. And then there's The Evil Dead, because nothing says fun with friends like accidentally summoning ancient demons in the woods at night. These stories remind us that the woods aren't just a place where you lose cell service. They're a playground for the supernatural, and you will regret wandering off the trail. Here's the weird part though. Despite everything that I just said, people still love going into the woods. National parks, packed. Camping is more popular than ever. Even horror fans who binge Friday the 13th still somehow think that sleeping in a tent is a good idea. So what's that all about? Well, it's all about control. During the day, the woods are a controlled environment. We know where we're going, we can see the trail, and the odds of getting chased by a forest cryptid feel low, right? But at night, all of that control just goes away, and the environment is the same, of course, but our perception of it shifts. Psychologists refer to this as the dual perception of space. Basically, the same place can feel safe or threatening depending on the time of day and the context. In daylight, the woods symbolize adventure and exploration, but at night, they transform into the literal unknown. The funny thing is, most of the time it's not just, the woods that are scary, it's us. Our brains are wired to expect danger even when there is none. You ever been on a night walk and thought you saw someone standing just behind the tree? But it turns out it was just a branch. Your brain filled in those gaps because it expected a threat. This psychological quirk is called pareidolia. It's the tendency to see patterns, especially faces or figures in random objects. It's the same reason why people see the Virgin Mary in their toast or swear that they saw Slender Man in the fog. At night, in the woods, everything looks like a lurking figure. Thanks, brain. Real helpful. So, should you be scared of the woods at night? Honestly, I think no, not really. Statistically speaking, you're more likely to be attacked by mosquitoes than anything paranormal, and most of the fear that we feel comes from within. But hey, a healthy fear of the woods isn't a bad thing either. It keeps you alert, aware, and it hopefully makes you rethink solo midnight hikes. If you still feel uneasy, just remember, most of the things that are lurking in the woods at night probably don't want to deal with you either. Except raccoons. Those little guys have no fear, and if you have snacks in your backpack, they will find you. So, the woods at night, right? Why are they scary? It's because they tap into something ancient, something instinctual. The woods at night remind us that for all of our technology and our comforts, we're still just a species trying not to get eaten in the dark. But hey, isn't that part of the fun?